From Hollywood, time once again for Money TV. I'm Don Baillargeon. Thanks for joining us. Money TV is a program all about money and what makes it happen. Well, the wildfires in California are devastating as dozens have died and thousands have had their lives completely uprooted and lost their homes, their neighborhoods, their security, their peace of mind. Someone I know personally has lost their beautiful oceanside home in the Malibu area, and the family is just heartbroken, especially at this time of year. People can lose their homes and their way of life to different disasters, whether it be an earthquake, hurricane, tornado, flood, or a fire. But there's something about a fast-moving wildfire that, to me at least, represents the most devastating, as in most cases, people have mere minutes to escape and leaving everything behind. Look around your home. Home is more than just a place you live and keep your things. It represents memories of lives present and lives before. Your grandmother's quilt, Uncle Bob's military medals, your child's first report card, that Florentine vase you bought in your honeymoon to Italy, photos of your kids growing up, that signed copy of your favorite author's book, video of your daughter's wedding. There's a reason for the old saying, if these walls could talk. We revere our homes, and when they're taken from us, a small part of ourselves goes with them. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. Well, that's become a tired cliche, but unless we're directly affected, then we can't possibly fathom what these people are going through. Now keep this in mind, our toll-free number, good from anywhere in the world you're watching the program, 888-259-4449, to get free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added to the subscription list of our Money TV newsletter. Again, toll-free from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449. Visit us at MoneyTV.net, and please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Well, our first guest this week's joining us in the studio, two executives from a company called Nuggle Incorporated, NUGL is their stock symbol. To my immediate left is the Vice President of Sales, Bob Waters. Bob, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And the founder of the company, CJ Maloney. CJ, welcome.
Hi, thanks.
Now, you're the world's first cannabis app built for the people, by the people. Tell us what that means.
That's correct, or that's what we like to say. What we've done is we built a platform that is applicable to every type of business in the cannabis space. And what we've noticed and what we've kind of tried to wrangle in is as the industry is becoming more evolved and more sophisticated, so are the companies that are in the industry. The best analogy I can give is, 5 years ago, people would want to find a dispensary where they can buy marijuana, whether it was medicinal or recreational. As the industry evolves and becomes more sophisticated, people don't want to just find a type of marijuana. They want to find a certain type of pipe or bong to smoke it out of. They want to find a certain type of strain that has certain elements that meet that particular needs. So we've built profiles and the ability to network on the back end of the app between those profiles for every type of business, whether you're a real estate agent, a dispensary, a brand of marijuana. Now you have the ability to really apply master distribution to your product, get it out there, grow your company, and grow your business.
Well, it's interesting because it gives people the opportunity to not only search across the entire scope of cannabis-related businesses, but get user ratings. Why is that important, Bob?
Well, it brings a lot of credibility to the application. For years, the cannabis consumers have been presented what perhaps people outside the cannabis industry would naturally assume would be what they were looking for. Mm-hmm. Having the functionality of reviews allows them to have an impact, and that's why it's by the people. They can see reviews of businesses and products and services that come highly recommended based off these reviews, and then make a consumer decision that we all do in the normal outside the 420 world, right? So this gives them the opportunity where they can go in and actually look for credible, highly recommended brands or products or services for themselves.
Now, of course, you've got a media arm as well. You're launching Nuggle Magazine as well, as you announced recently acquired 2 other publications. Tell us about that.
We have. We just acquired Nichols Publishing, which started Garden and Greenhouse and Professional Marijuana Grower. Those magazines have been in business a very long time. Great people over there. And really what that did is expanded our reach and our digital footprint and our print footprint to give our profiles another medium in which they can get their word out and they can market their business. So it's just part of the whole picture of what we're doing.
It's kind of amazing when you think of the evolution of this organization, this business scope, so to speak. 30, 40 years ago, if you wanted to read about marijuana, your only choice was High Times. now you can read about it on the cover of Fortune magazine.
It's changing, and we're also learning a lot. Every feature, we've really built this application extremely methodically, and it's a big app. But every feature we launch, we put it out there, we get a ton of feedback from the community, we adapt, move, add, and change, and we have to. And that's why we say when we're built for the people, by the people, it's a true statement because this industry is changing quickly. And for the software to be in front of it, complement the industry, and be relevant, we need to be able to build what the community needs.
I think there's like I don't think it's an accident, there's a phonetic similarity between Nuggle and Google. Are you the Google of the cannabis industry?
We're not going to say that, but
But I did.
You did.
let's just say we like Nuggle.
Okay.
Well, on a caveat to that, I'd say that, and I was just speaking to a group this week, and I was informing them that, the internet was around before Google.
Right.
And all we're doing is opening up avenues that have been available to the rest of the business world from the time of inception of the internet up until now. We're now opening up that door to the cannabis world, which had been excluded by this persona of what can or can't happen on the internet based upon the rules and regulations and algorithms of businesses that are not in that space.
Now you as a company, you've been very busy. In November, you've hired a couple of consultants, you've hired an investor relations firm. Tell us about those efforts.
Well, one of the biggest moves we made is we brought Bob on. Bob is actually from the cannabis publication world. And we thought it was a good fit to purchase the magazines, buy Bob, and buy the magazines and hire Bob.
Oh, you bought and sold.
Yeah. But what that does is, when our software is utilitarian, people go to our app and they use it for a purpose. Magazines are more surfing, right? You go to a magazine and you stay on that magazine and you're reading things and you're doing stuff. It's not utilitarian. So we're combining those two markets, and they're complementary to one another. So it's a good synergistic relationship. What Bob's expertise does and the acquisition of the two magazines, it is a plug and play. It's our Salesforce. It's another platform for us to market and gain eyeballs, and it's another vehicle for us to cross-market the two companies.
Why is this a good time, guys, for people to take a closer look at your company?
Oh, we're just in the very beginning. We go back and we have sales meetings and we have company meetings about 90 days ago, and it seems like a year. We're moving so fast and we're changing, and we're really responsive to the industry, and we're taking advantage of opportunities, and we're keeping our head down, and we have a great team, and we work hard.
Nuggle Incorporated, NUGL is their stock symbol, one of those great companies, or the name of the company is also their stock symbol. Guys, we're initiating coverage of the company beginning this week. We'll be talking to you very closely over the next several weeks. Fascinating company. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you very much.
Joining us now on the phone from the Big Marijuana Show in Las Vegas is Warren Wang. Warren is the CEO of ChineseInvestors.com Incorporated. Their stock symbol CIIX. Warren, how's the show going for you?
Hi, Donald. Show it's very exciting. So many people about the number better than me. But anyway, I also see a bunch of Chinese vendors. I went to the show 2 years ago. I don't see any Asian faces, very few. But this year, I see a lot of the Chinese vendors. Also, lot of Asian faces. So it's exciting. Also, I just get the hemp and CBD report for Asian Pacific report by the data company. It states like in Thailand and in Korea, in a bunch of other countries, marijuana, especially the medical marijuana, is going to get legalized soon. So I think the whole world is kind of losing the restriction or the control on the medical marijuana side. And we just finished the midterm election. I think 4 out of 5 has either, like Michigan, fully legalized recreation and medical marijuana. Other 3 states legalized medical. Only North Dakota is have a problem. But, after midterm election, I think we're going back to the farmers bill, which can be totally legalized, the CBD CBD and hemp industry. So it's a very exciting show, and show this industry is really, really booming. So many CBD companies never seen in the past, never heard. They are emerging, have a lot of capital infused. So I'm so excited about Chinese investors with also the Chinese CBDoil.com, Chinese hempoil.com, and all CBD biotech in China. Somebody mentioned like the Chinese government have some kind of restriction on the marijuana. But I think, it's marijuana, you have a THC and CBD side. I'm not going to encourage the Chinese consumer to smoke recreation side, but I think that on the medical side, we have a lot of potential. And as the CEO of the company, I just want to talk to my shareholders that we are working hard. First of all, spin off the company. Secondly, we are working hard to match our revenue goals. Thirdly, we are working hard to expand our business 5 to 10 revenue growth every year. Also, try to at a certain point, we are definitely going to make a company profitability. And final, I would like to say, just spin off the company, make things, getting our vision very clear to the investor. Secondly, making the company more profitability is my goal. Thank you so much, Donald.
Well, Warren, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the show. Again, Warren Wang, Chinese Investors Incorporated, ChineseInvestors.com Incorporated, I should say. CIIX is their stock symbol. Enjoy the rest of the show, Warren. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, coming to us direct from their Centercom Global Operations Center in El Salvador is Brian Cox. Brian is the CEO of Surge Holdings Incorporated, stock symbol SURG. Welcome back to the show, Brian.
Hey, Don, good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell us about Centercom.
Yeah, it is interesting. And Centercom, I tell you, the best way to describe it is I think we would have considered Centercom maybe 10, 15 years ago what we would call an outsourced call center or a phone room. But as globalization and a lot of the aspects of our world have changed, the operational outsourcing now, it's not just inbound sales or inbound customer service. It's actually a lot of levels of what one would consider the operations of a company.
Well, you have previously expressed a bullishness, so to speak, about Centercom and its handling of sales and customer service. Tell us of the importance of Centercom to the company.
Yeah, I am bullish about Centercom, and it is a vital vendor and a vital component of what we're building here at Surge, and in our global operation. And it's not just the fact that yes, they are doing customer service, yes, they are doing sales for us, but as we've needed other, other tasks or other positions, whether it be programming, HTML website work, transactional, all kind of revenue assurance. I mean, you name it for Surge, and not only for Surge, but also the other companies that Centercom provides these services for. This is only going to go one way, and especially as the immigrant population in the United States continues to increase, having a bilingual customer service, a bilingual sales, and a bilingual online presence will only help grow our market. And honestly, if you really look at our market in the United States, the unbanked and underbanked, the immigrant and Hispanic population is a large majority of, I shouldn't say a majority, but a large part of that group.
I saw something at your website, Brian, that caught my attention. Can you explain what you mean by scaling human capital?
Sure, and that's a good question. I get asked that a lot. And the best way to describe it would be as a technology company, there are certain speed bumps that we hit on the road that can maybe side swipe us a little bit or give us a little bit of a pit stop or plateau. If your technology, your software, and your systems are built right, the one thing that can slow you down is human capital. And by that, I mean people, bluntly, people. And if you're hitting hyper growth and you're short on people, it's not only something that can slow you down, it can really hurt you as a company because a lot of times you only get that one chance for a first impression. So what we've done here very carefully is build our human capital, not only just, let's say, like one person that could be in customer service, they're also cross-trained in sales. A person in sales could also be cross-trained in other aspects. Or let's say Surge Phone Wireless could share outsourced help, operational help from the same types of folks that are helping in True Wireless, or some of the other subsidiaries that we own and we're pushing forward now. So the ability for this not to be a hindrance to our growth, and like I told you before, Don, we've been in this business before. I've been on this lap of the life cycle of a company before, and we know what to expect. And the first time around, that was one of the challenges I had. And I've laid the infrastructure down here and in the States to make sure that we're able to just to blow past that and not slow down when we hit hypergrowth.
Well, there have been hints that perhaps Surge may acquire an ownership stake in Centercom. Can you shed any light on that possibility?
Yeah, I tell you, that's one reason I'm down here now, not only to pat people on the back and encourage and to, work with our leaders, but it's also, we're in the final stages of negotiating a deal where we can acquire a minority stake in Centercom. And why I think that's important? Well, for two reasons. Number one, the most important part of it is when you are getting into growth and you're getting married to certain vendors, you want to make sure that your cost controls are stabilized, and you can create a pro forma over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, where you're all things being equal, such as like we talked about, the human capital side of things can be made into more of a documented Excel sheet where you can build and ramp and project. Well, if you don't have control over your costs and someone else does, that can be a big problem. All things are not equal now. So it's not only the original reason that I did engage Centercom for this was to control costs. And as I've dug in, I tell you what, it's pretty exciting. I didn't realize the multi-billion-dollar industry of BPOs. And by the way, they're not call centers, they're business process outsourcing, BPOs. The BPO business in the nearshore market, which is the upper Central America part of the Horn, it's a big business. And the other companies that Centercom is working with are growing rapidly. They're sending more business down here. As a matter of fact, I believe Centercom will be looking for a new location here soon because it's busting at the seams. And it's a way for us also to take something that as we move and grow is a big expense. We can turn that expense that would just be a bottom line expense into an investment and an asset that we have a stake in.
As we approach the end of 2018, what are the main goals you'd like to achieve in the coming year?
Tell you what, the main goals we'd like to achieve, 2018 was a year where we had some things that we need to take care of from a corporate governance side, from a communications side, from let's just call it a prepping for the future side. The infrastructure has been built, the software is ready, the people are ready, they're trained. We've brought in some great team members even in the last 60 days. So what I would look as we close out 2018 is basically packing for the big road trip. We've taken some steps that, you've always got these decisions to make quarterly, monthly. Hey, do we try to put some things out there to bump numbers, or do we do the right thing for long-term growth? And I've always been a believer in long-term growth and overall value. We've done that, even though it's tempting sometimes to just make some plays that would look good on the books. They weren't the right call. We've invested in our infrastructure. We've invested in going ahead and doing things software development-wise that we didn't have to do for another year or so. We went ahead and did them right now, so we're growing the right way. And I would expect, like I said, around January, you're going to see that hyper growth start flaring up, and I'm doing everything that I can so that we're going to be able to ride that as long as we can.
Once again, Surge Holdings Incorporated, SURG is their stock symbol. Brian, fascinating interview, terrific update. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Don. Signing off from El Salvador. See you soon.
Have you heard the news? There's only one flat-fee news distribution network on the market. It's called Access Wire, and it's exclusively from Issuer Direct. Any day, anytime, the Access Wire News Network can deliver your press release to more than 1,500 media outlets in 98 countries. Access Wire also delivers real-time engagement analytics. You will learn who read and shared your press release and more. Best news of all, getting started is easy. Visit accesswire.com and extend your company's news reach today.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington. On Shark Tank, we always look for the next big thing. Today, it's digital currencies like Bitcoin. But everyone wants to know, is it real and how do I get started? Yes, it's real, and the best way to start is setting up your free digital wallet with singlepoint.com. They make it easy to buy, use, and store digital currencies without banks or debit and credit cards. Use promo code SING for your free wallet and informative newsletter. That's singlepoint.com.
Does this sound familiar? Turned down for a mortgage? Credit card interest over 20%? Didn't get the job you wanted? The problem is your credit score. Unsure what your credit score is? Call the Advocacy Network, 321-947-3220. Talk to Carl. He can help you regain your financial independence. Change your life today. 321-947-3220. Talk to Carl.
We are back, joined now by Riggs Eckelberry. He's the CEO of Origin Clear, OCLN is their stock symbol. Riggs, I understand you have a presentation for us this week.
You know what? You got to scoop. You got to scoop. Because our videographer, who happens to be my brother, Stephen, went up to Roanoke and shot Dan Early live. Let's take a look.
We are completing the final factory testing and commissioning of the wastewater treatment plant. It's scheduled to ship out for our first customer with modular water systems. This is customer number 1. This is a unique customer. It's a regional craft brewer located in New England. This particular system is rated for 1,000 gallons per day, but that capability allows us to also scale from 1,000 gallons per day to 2,500 gallons per day to 5,000 gallons per day to 25,000 gallons per day. So it is a scalable design.
We've been doing business with Dan, working with him on projects for probably 10 years or better. He comes up with a design and we help him in the manufacturing process.
This control panel right now is being tested by our sister company located in Dallas, Texas. Through an internet connection, they're actually accessing the control panel, working collaboratively with me and Plastic Fabricating to test the controls, that everything is operating and functioning correctly. Really cool that we can do this located here in Roanoke, Virginia with our partner in Dallas, Texas. And this same functionality, remote operations, remote monitoring, this is a service that we extend to our customer. We are at Advanced Auto Parts in Roanoke, Virginia. I'm actually sourcing some replacement fuses. These are standardized fuses. There's nothing special about them. I mean, that's one of the premises behind an engineered solution is keep it simple, keep it commoditized, keep it affordable. Once you template the manufacturing model in one region, it then becomes very, very easy to take that standardized process and then to transplant that. You could have a manufacturing facility in the Mid-Atlantic. You can build one in Mid-Texas. You can build one in Pacific Northwest. They would all use the same manufacturing models, the same engineering programs. The vision that we have at Modular Water Systems is that we want to deploy an engineering and manufacturing model that utilizes this plastic manufacturing capability. It allows us to create very unique, robust treatment systems in a much smaller, compact form. We can factory assemble these things, package them, put them on a truck, put them on a boat, deliver them to the final site and install them. You can't do that with concrete. With Origin Clear, they have a tremendous capability to reach out to the greater world, to broadcast this message into channels and into markets that we never would have been able to do before. And that, to me, is very, very exciting. I can reach people and reach end users and consultants and customers that I never would have been able to do before. That is really the power of Origin Clear.
Well, that's an impressive project. Your first customer ready to ship.
Yes, and I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, this thing's so small. What? But the fact is, that's decentralized water treatment. It's small, it's compact, and it's scalable. It can go all the way up to 25,000 gallons per day, whatever, and that's the beauty of these systems.
But it's plug and play.
Plug and play, prefab. What you saw the shots were, that was the work being done in the plastic fab facility, and it gets shipped out, dropped in, plugged in, boop, up and running.
Now you had something to say, but off the air about septic systems being a problem.
Well, this morning I put out a CEO update, and if your listeners are not, subscribed to CEO update, shame on them, because all the hot stuff comes on. But here's the amazing thing: we have 26 million septic tanks plus in this country. Up to 75% in some states are failing. All that green water in Chesapeake and in Florida and so forth, much of it comes from the nitrogen out of these failing septics, and Up to 200,000 illnesses a year are directly attributed to the septics. This is modular water in the home.
Subscribe to the CEO Updates. Go to OriginClear.com for more information. Riggs Eckelberry, CEO of Origin Clear, OCLN is their stock symbol. Always a pleasure, Riggs.
Thank you.
Joining us now direct from Phoenix is Mr. Greg Lambert. Greg's the CEO of Single Point Incorporated, SING is their stock symbol. Welcome back to the show, Greg.
Hey, thanks for having me, Don.
Well, Greg, big news this week. You've announced $5 million in financing for acquisitions and other purposes. Tell us about that.
Well, we're excited about it. You know, we spent a lot of time and money on becoming fully reporting, so we were able to renegotiate and get very favorable terms on the money we brought in. And of course, you know, we're bringing this money in for acquisitions and follow up on some of our in-house initiatives. So we're very excited about it.
We've been discussing a large acquisition that is pending, so this is part of the funding for that deal as well?
Well, that's it. You know, we've been telling the shareholders that we're going to be raising some money and then hopefully announcing some big acquisitions, so things are on track.
Well, that big acquisition we've been talking about was some pretty serious EBITDA numbers. You're still pretty excited about that deal?
Oh, extremely excited. I think that it's going to separate, you know, Single Point from the other companies out, you know, out there on the OTC. And, you know, quite frankly, again, which we've talked about before with this acquisition, hopefully that goes through, that we'll be able to start talking about the NASDAQ.
So what has to happen next to get that deal done?
Well, we're talking to 3 or 4 different lenders, and you know, we have 3 or 4 different lenders very interested in it. So as soon as you know, we kind of pick one, we can, you know, get an LOI in place and move forward.
Well, Greg, I'm going to refer to you now as the $5 million man. Again, Single Point Incorporated, SING is their stock symbol. Greg, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you, and it just shows the continued interest in Single Point that we can raise this sort of funds and complete all of our initiatives. So go Sing.
Hard to believe we got another election mess in Florida. We're going to talk about that in this week's Money Wrap radio program. Find a radio station near you or listen online. Go to MoneyWrap.com. Call us right now, toll free from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449 to get free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added to the subscription list of our Money TV newsletter. It is free, as is the call, 888-259-4449. Visit us at MoneyTV.net. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. That's our show this week. As always, we'll be back next time. Thanks so much for joining us.